Balance is the key to everything. What we do, think, say, eat, and feel. They all require awareness, and through this awareness, we grow. Balance has been a key element in my life from the very beginning. I was born into a family of student athletes, particularly swimmers. Inspired by my oldest siblings, Kelsey and John Paul, I was in the water before I had even started kindergarten. I learned the 4 strokes, basic techniques, and rules of swimming as I learned my numbers, letters, and shapes. As I competed in my first competition, winning my first medal, I was writing sentences and reading small books. This balance of academics and athletics became something that would stick with me for my entire life. As I moved through elementary school, I felt as though I was learning 2 languages, one of the classroom and one of the swimming pool. Though now I understand that swimming consists of slang and jargon, like any other discourse community, when I was younger, learning the 2 felt a lot more daunting. Words that were adjectives in the classroom became nouns in the pool. The same change happened with verbs. For example, the word free. In the classroom, it meant that something had no price and you didn't have to pay for it. But in the pool, it was the most common stroke, swim on your stomach, using one arm at a time while maintaining a steady kick. Words also began to take on different meanings, even though they remain the same parts of speech. Words like fins, paddle, block, and back. If I was reading a story for class about a beautiful butterfly, I quickly had to decide which discourse's language was being used. Was the author talking about a beautiful orange monarch, or admiring the beautiful butterfly performed by Olympic swimmer Michael Phelps? Finding the proper balance between each discourse's language gave me a very important literacy skill of reading into context clues. Reading into context clues really helped me create a balance between my 2 languages, a balance that would be challenged as I moved on into high school. I went to a very small, private Catholic school for my 4 years of high school, which definitely had its share of pros and cons. Pro, academics were taken very seriously by the staff and student body. Con, athletics suffered because of this standard. Few teams existed with even fewer facilities. I feared swimming would not be a part of my high school experience, and the balance I was once comfortable in would be thrown off kilter. With the support of the staff, students, and community, however, we found a way to bring swimming back, even though we had no pool. I would compete as an independent athlete, meaning I would provide my own coach, facility, and time, yet still represent my high school while at competitions. Even though I knew the situation would be challenging at times, I looked at the context clues. 1, my community, family, and teachers were supportive. 2, I was passionate about swimming. And 3, I knew that it was my chance to represent my school in a positive way. So I took the opportunity. I was blessed enough to compete very well throughout my 4 years, bringing back a total of 6 district gold medals, 2 district silver medals, breaking 4 district records, and earning 2 state silver medals. My senior year went on to be my most successful in the water. I qualified to swim at the 2016 U.S. Olympic Trials and brought my school back their first 2 state gold medals in any sport since 1978. Throughout my defeats and successes, I once more had to use my 2 languages. With the community's support, I was frequently interviewed by local newspapers, TV channels, and even had the opportunity to speak at my elementary school and the first YMCA I swam at. Swimming had taught me confidence, and I knew that by this point I was educated enough to clearly discuss any topic, but I was still nervous before each interview. Much like the inspired writer, I had an inspired speaker in my mind. What if what I say isn't good enough? What if I say something that implies something that I don't mean it to? What if I just sound dumb? The defense I used against my inspired speaker was remembering to stay balanced. Each time I became anxious while interviewing, I made sure to be balancing swim language and classroom language, giving context clues to allow the reader to understand my discourse community a little easier. Forming a narrative and using the basic components of storytelling, I became more relaxed and even enjoyed opportunities where I got to share my story. Balance is the key to everything, and looking back on my journey to becoming literate, I cannot imagine what it would have been like had swimming not been there too. It would have been like a butterfly without wings, trying to fly. Use your context clues.